Hello, welcome to the next edition of KebbieG Specialty List. Today, we're going to be trying out Abzan Midrange. This time, we're going to try out a Yorion version instead of a Nagatha. Now, the advantages of this, of course, Yorion works quite well with Siege Rhino. We get to blink it, deal more damage. Plus, we get to fit more of the iconic staples into the deck, like Maelstrom Pulse. And also, we have the new Overlords in the deck. So we have a lot more oomph behind our actual package. So I'm excited to bring this deck list for you guys today. The new card we're trying out, of course, is Maelstrom Pulse and Alanda, Saint of Dusk. It's a new 4-drop. That's a 4/4 in minutes with lifelink. Pretty decent threat. Also, the advantage of Yorion over Jangatha. We get to play cards like Path of Peril, Day of Judgment, and plus Liliana the Veil. So that's what we're trying out today. If you like this kind of content, make sure you smash that like button, subscribe, hit that notification. For a future video, we're on our way to 2,000 subs. Now, also, there is a link in the title. Go click on Ether Gaming. Subscribe there. The logo is right over here. ECG. So, Ether Clash Gaming is the organization that I'm going to be starting, as well as some of my key admin / moderators. We're going to be dealing with it, creating a whole tournament series for Pioneer, for other formats that you guys might like. So check that out as well. And let's get into the deck list and see the deck in action. So we have 80 cards, of course. We have one Bankbuster just for a little extra card draw with our Bronco, some Dread Knights, Glissas, Trespassers, 2 Alandas because I want to be able to find it, 4 Siege Rhinos, 4 and 4 on the Overlords, 4 Thoughtseize, 4 Push. It's really premier cards, 4 up the Beanstalks, 4 Binding. Since we have Overlord, we can now play the Leyland Binding. Pretty nice. And we have a Bitter Triumph and a couple Pulses. Sideboard, we have more discard type effects with Duress, Rest 3, Rest in Peace for Graveyard Hate, 2 Liliana the Veil for Control, a Necromentia for Catch-All against Combo and Control, 2 Path of Perils for Aggro, 2 Day Judgments for Aggro, 1 Sorin for grindy matchups like Control and stuff like that. Elder Gargaroth, solid threat. We could probably trim down on the Overlord of the Mistmoors against Aggro. Go up this, it gains life, draws cards, does a lot of things, in particular a lot of different matchups, really. Kind of a house against Phoenix, too. We have a Yorion. That's our companion. Let's see if Abzan 80 card version has what it takes, because I have not done this yet. Let's get into it. Scrying Tap, Goo. Canal. Case, so this is it in Soul. No land for us, but that's okay. They go. I do like how this deck is kind of feeling right now. It's kind of like a mixture of a Ram deck and a mid-range pile, which is kind of based. Alright, so we're going to crack this, grab a Forest. Still no lands. They go. Tap land for the opponent. A Spyglass Iron. Sure. Get a Crew. Makes a lot of sense. Fatal Push the Copter. Alright, up the Beanstalk. That is a magic card, I suppose. Ugh! No more lands. We're 48% likely to draw one. So, by that statistics, we should have drawn one by now. But let's see what the opponent has for us now. Once we get one land, right? Hopefully it's a green source. We should be able to just Overlord the Hauntwoods into a Rhino, into whatever. So we just literally need one card. Inti gets Frisky for 2. No, does not discard a card. Interesting. Bronco, I guess. We'll play it. They go. Either that or Thoughtseize. I think this actually, we were willing to take the risk and take some damage to hopefully draw a land here. That's how desperate we are. It's my fault for taking a 2-land hand, I guess. I don't know. You should be able to take a 2-land hand and be okay in every deck, but for some reason, every time I take a 2-land hand, I don't ever see one for multiple turns. Sure, turns that into a 5/4, gets Frisky. Why doesn't he attack with a Siren? Seems a little weird to me. Yeah, take it. There's no point of chump blocking here. Well. Ouch. Scoop it up. So we have Path of Peril, Day of Judgment. I don't know if I want to rest or not. probably Gargs. Go down Overlord of the Mistmoors. And probably a Trespasser seems pretty fine. Question is, why don't this Lily over it? Probably, right? Because making them sack a indestructible land is pretty nice if they turn it on. We're not like that. We did not learn our lesson, and that's okay. We'll keep this because we could get this up to Beanstalk. They're very similar hands. It's a little bit more oriented around some early game stuff. Definitely take the Insole. Say go. So now he kind of has nothing. Just plays a... Okay, yeah, we're going to go ahead and play up the Beanstalk. There's a land, but we need another green source for this Overlord. But I'm not going to complain about having a land. Short, Siren. Cracks the map. Now we get to Plains, Beanstalk plus Fatal Push. That's a green source. I don't think I could risk it, though. Question here is now, do I want to... I think I just Fatal Push. I don't think up the Beanstalk is necessary, so I could wait. I could have shocked myself and played the Overlord, but I just don't really want to. Considering that we're facing an hyper-aggressive deck, it doesn't make any sense. Sure. Smacks me. Now we get to play us. Okay. Kill the thing, you get an empty. That's fine. Now we get to drop down our Overlord. Draw a card. And say go. So that's a nice little curve right there. Now, the odds of him actually being able to do much this turn, getting rid of the Spell Pierce makes a lot of sense. But I hope we can pull this off. We should be able to up the Beanstalk plus Siege Rhino, which should be pretty nice. And say go. So far, I really like this deck. This deck is actually kind of fun. I love the Overlords in this deck. I love Titans. The fact that I could play a little bit of a Titan, a little bit of a Siege Rhino, and this Yorion is just kind of based. 3, we can't necessarily Yorion next turn. We could pick it up, probably do something else, depending on what we draw. Discarding the Torch to the tower because they need to find a burn spell for the Siege Rhino. Makes sense. They don't have an artifact, so they can't really deal 5 to this. There's a Siren, now they have the artifact. Turns that on. It doesn't have haste. Okay. So based. Second Siege Rhino. Play land. Kraken. Doesn't matter what I take. Probably a swamp. Pick up Yorion. Say go. So now we get to Yorion next turn. He can attack me for 5. 6, actually. Probably going to pump the Glyph. And that's fine, right? Now the question more here is, does he have a what? Does he have 5 damage right here? I don't think I want to trade necessarily. I just want to prevent some damage. Because I don't really want him to be able to deal 5 to my face. If he has it. And this Yorion should be able to stabilize me a little bit. It is sad, though, that we had to get rid of a Siege Rhino. That's just so sad. Yeah, but if I would have taken the 6, I probably would have just died. Okay. First things first. We play a Yorion. Draw some cards in case we find... Yeah, see, there's Shrapnel Blast. Knew he had it. If we draw an untapped land that doesn't shock us. So, I guess I can't. I have to get rid of that. Okay, there's a Spyglass. Now everything comes back. We get to draw some cards. And Glutz is kind of nice. We turn on a Den. Is that good? Probably don't want that, right? That seems like a very big card at this point in the game. So he gets risk. No getting frisky. That's actually an excellent draw. So now we get to Glissa. We get to cycle this Triome. So 1, 2, 3, +1. I have 3, so I could play the Swamp. Can I get frisky? Does the lands matter? Probably not. Pass. We cycle +1. See what we cycle into. I am actually kind of comfortable where we are in this game, even though we are at 8. Sadly, we did lose both our rhinos. We still have 2 more in the deck, so there is that chance that we just draw it, but... Cracks it, sure. Cycle me a Triome. Another land. I don't think I want a binding anytime soon. I need extra protection spells before I start attacking with this Overlord of the Hauntwoods. That's interesting. Alright, so we just get frisky with everything then. See what he does. Then again, Day of Judgment does not help against the Din. We take 4 in the crack back. So I think I just attack with the Overlord. I do need to start playing pressure. Sega. Okay, now what? So he's gonna turn on the Den. Shark. You discard one? Okay. You're putting that on an Epic here. So that blocks there. That blocks there. Draw some cards. Get rid of that. Get rid of that. Cycle. We are at 5. So it means we are Shrapnel Blast range. But he's tapped out. That was a slight mistake. Get rid of that, I suppose. Yeah, got there. I think I just run it back. I could cut a Bankbuster for a Trespasser. Yeah, I think I do. Run it like that. So it plays a Canal and a Siren. So at this point... Oh. Yeah, I still think I do that. Because turn 2, I want to be able to up the Beanstalk. Alright. Play a up the Beanstalk. There you go. All these lands. So Maelstrom Pulse probably isn't worth much. Maybe it is. So I could blow up the map that doesn't do anything additional. If he would have put on an actual clue, it would have been pretty devastating. So I guess we shock ourselves. Crack. Pop there. They go. Extruder. Alright. More lands. Seems very unlikely this is actually happening, but he's going to sack that and make a 3-3 on his end step, so we're at 4. I don't think I could risk firing this off. So I guess I pick up Yorion. And I can't play anything really this turn. So I need another green source. So we know he's going to sack, right? A clue. Make a 3-3. If he gets a 5-5 and soul type effect, he just wins. But I just can't do nothing about it. Or Shrapnel Blast actually also wins. Okay, we're dead. 0-1. Let's get into the next. I am now offering Patreon and locals content exclusive that includes sideboard guides, budget guides, exclusive videos, as well as other types of content. If you want to check out, the link is in the description. Now, let's get back into the video. Boom, tap, go. Okay, anchorage. So this must be control. We'll go and play up the beanstalk while we can. Say go. That's pretty decent. That means we have our second white source now. This fatal push is just horrid, though. I don't think I need to play that land necessarily. Tap or untap. We'll just play a Bronco. This might actually get a counter, but it doesn't. Okay, go. Probably eats a removal spell instead, I had to assume. Nope, doesn't even use his mana. So a field happens, sure. Crack a Fable Passage, grab a... Ironically, we need another swamp at some point. But we'll grab a Plains. Against control, I don't think this Fatal Push ever is going to matter. So playing Double Spell doesn't work. Try to cast a Overlord of the Mistmourns. You get rid of my Bronco? Go. I mean, I guess that's a line you could take. I just would have not assumed that would have been a more optimal line. We will shock ourselves, play the 5-drop Overlord. Get another mana. Deluge, that's a nice target for Trespasser. So that's pretty good for me. Another Binding, so now we get our Domain online, and we get to smack the face. There you go. So I really like our curve right now against control. His mana is a little finicky, but that's kind of with the territory. So now we just get to double spell. We eat the Deluge, which is the better of the two, a better option. And we'll drop that down. Say go. So now if he plays a Teferi, we have an answer. He also might just Farewell. So on that note, because Farewell is a possibility, you probably just want to pick up. Okay, scoops it up. Does not like the current position. Against control, right? We cut these pushes. This is where Liliana shines. This is where we got Duress. We got a Sorin. Maybe even have an Elder Gargaroth. Now, what card is actively bad in this matchup? Probably a Bronco. It just gets answered. We'll probably go down Broncos, up Necro, and run it like that. So in this position, I think we play Thoughtseize. Take my curve looks like a push, like a Bank Buster, so I think I take Deluge. His hand's not very good, so now I get punished, but that's okay. We play a Bank Buster, so we have something to do next turn. When we get this Triumph down, we still get to draw with Bank Buster. Shocks himself. Okay. Say go. So we get to draw with Banky. Try to find a land. Siege Rhino. So I have two options here. I could up the Beanstalk to try to redraw. I could also just tap a Bank Buster to redraw. Or I could play Trespasser to get this Deluge out of the yard, which I think I'm a few turns out. I think I could risk the Bank Buster here. Trying to find a fourth land is very critical. Now, in this position, do you have an answer for my Bank Buster? It does. Okay. I think I get rid of the Overlord. We're so far away from it, and we can't justify ever getting rid of a Siege Rhino. It's our pet card on this channel. So, in this position now, I think we continue trying to get mana. He probably eats a counter spell. I'd rather not have to redraw it. He is running low on cards. So now I think 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We need to get this Trespasser out. We eat the Deluge. Say go. This is very important because we can't, like I said, we can't let him have a refill on hand with good quality cards. Especially since we're up a game, we could definitely rest this a little bit better. Now we need to get rid of this Wandering Emperor. We might just Liliana minus and shove in there at the Wandering Emperor. No, he has a Hall online. So that's not ideal. If he's binding, he'll just get lost it, reset. If I Overlord, I guess that's probably right. Do you get lost my... Okay, no more lies. That's fine. Which means now we can get frisky at there. Makes a 1-1 to chomp. So now he could attack back for 11. Oh, trades. Fine. So now he does have a Hall on. He makes another door, probably, yeah.
Keep watch for intruders.
Do you attack with a Hall? I mean, it seems like a decent play. Alright, so... I definitely cannot Overlord here, because we need to double spell. We need an actual blocker here. So I think my best line... So that's 10 points of damage coming across. Maybe 11? Draws a card. Sure. Get lost. At this point, I just need to bait everything. So if we can get a Lily down, we need something else with it. Marches away at my land. Okay. Seems reasonable. So again, I only have 5 mana. Let's play Overlord. That allows me to double spell next turn. Maybe even more than that, right? Because it's binding. So sacks it, draws another card. So he has a 7/7 Hall, which is absolutely critical to get rid of off this board state. Now, what I could do is I could attack with the Overlord at the Wandering Emperor. It might make him turn on his Hall, and then I could Liliana minus on the Hall. He has 2 remaining manas. I think that's my line. Let that go. Okay.
I still have much to learn.
Glissa. Makes a treasure. So I think I Lily here. No more lies. Okay. There you go. He's all tapped up. He has no more walkers, and all he has is a Hall. Pretty bad spot for him. Especially since I think we're pretty much favored in this matchup. Yeah, he's desperately trying to sack that to draw a card. Sure, gets a archive. Question is, how far can you go down here? We could attack with a Glissa. I think we can put this on the Overlord and make it a 7/7. That's our goal. Scopes it up. 1-1. Let's get into the next. Through PayPal, I'm offering for $20 play your deck through League. I also give you an article about how to improve the list, and as well as some sideboard guides in very particular matchups. If you want to check out the link, it's in the description. Now, let's get back into the video. Shocks himself. Swift Spear hits me. So we go ahead and Fatal Push. There you go. A Bolt Wave. Okay, facing Burn. Pretty difficult for us to do. Alright. We play Verge. Draw a card. Go to 11. Fatal Push will help us. So I think we need to Tomb this turn. Because we want the black mana, and we don't really want to keep shocking ourselves. Boros Charm, sure. Down to 7. You have another bolt. Come on, ew. So now it's very critical we get down this trespasser. Oh, that's so rough. Trespasser might not be enough here. So we're essentially staying at 3. Eat the trespass, eat the thing, play a tap land. So next turn we stop taking damage from our lands. Don't know if that matters. Yeah, there, you're dead. So against Bird, probably Path, Elder Gargaroth. We're definitely going down the Overlord of the Mistborn. Those are just too slow. We could also go up Day of Judgment and Rest, right? We need to increase this. Bronco, I think, is too much of a liability in this matchup. Bankbuster is too much of a liability. We can't really afford to tap mana for this, but we can pay mana one time for this. Alinda is really good here. Hopefully we actually draw this. That would be ideal. So now what? Do we need Bitter Triumph? I like the rest. That's probably the weakest card, but I don't see anything that I actually want here. I mean, Liliana might be a little bit better than this. Probably. No, not that. Lily. I don't like that. But tap lands and go. Shocks himself. Come on, dude. Another land. Tap land. Go. Now we got a push, which is kind of nice here. So, I'm kind of excited. Maybe get this win. If we can get this win, we can beat almost anything. Push it. But I'm also going to be making some content if you're interested in getting into Arena with Explorer as the main point of view. You can definitely check all that out on the ACG channel, Ether Clash Gaming, because I will be trying to make it where I take the initial deck list that you get when you start a new account and upgrade them to Pioneer. Not targeting Standard, but Pioneer. Dread Knight is a little interesting. I'm not sure if it's where I want to be, though. But I think it's necessary that flips this turn. Yeah, I think I have to. Say go. This might just eat a burn spell. Shall see. Nope, face. Okay. So, like, this is one of those decks you could really build on Arena for very cheap. I'm not sure. I can't remember what decks you start with in Foundations. Alright, so Pathway. Yeah, take my beats. So here, I think I grab... Actually, it doesn't really matter. Probably a Plains is fine. So I want to go ahead and use an Overlord, which means I have Domain. And shove in there for 3. I have a Binding Up, which is kind of nice. So we're winning this fight slightly. We might have a Helix, though. So Bone Crusher is my phase. Looks like another instant spell. Alright, we are at 11. Bone Crusher. Get rid of the Bone Crusher, go to 9. Tap land. That's kind of interesting. Duress. Get rid of the Helix. Pick up a Yorion. Go. So now I get to Yorion, Blink, Overlord. I think I offer I exchange here. Which puts him in a very weird position, because he probably doesn't get the stomp. Maybe he does. It could be a skewer. Sure. So we go ahead and play Yorion. Blink Overlord. Say go. And we're at 4, so Boros Charm does beat us. That's a nice pickup. We can eat the Swift Spear, so now we're at 5. We're out of Boros Charm range. So I think I attack with Overlord because it's the fastest clock. I definitely don't want to attack with 2 things this turn, because I can't win this turn anyway, so say go. So Helix is me. What's the last card? And a Helix. All right, 1 and 2. Let's get into the wrap up. So what did we learn this week about this deck overall? I think with the 80 card version, I mean, you are probably going to be a little bit worse against aggro. Burn was pretty difficult. We definitely could address this with the sideboard a little bit more life gain type cards, but overall, like that is something we could definitely address. Besides that, match 1, we did get both in the spectrum, game 1 and game 3. Otherwise, I think we would have won that match. I think we're pretty good into that deck. Game 1, we drew 2 lands for so long. Game 3, we drew too many lands. When we actually had a good curve out, we just kind of destroyed. We beat Control, which is kind of nice. So this deck has a lot of game against a lot of the meta currently. I do like, and this deck could always be adjusted depending on how you want to play it. There's Anafenza. I'm hoping we get that on Arena soon. There's so many different ways you could build this with iconic cards from the past times with cons and etc. that you might actually just have a fun time with the deck. For me, this was a blast to play. The Overlords I love because, like I said, they remind me of old Titans. So that's pretty sweet. We also, like I said, the Siege Rhino is a pastime favorite for me. And Dread Knight has become a card that I actually just like to play. So this deck is growing on me more and more. And we get such a good removal spells with Fatal Push and Binding. Even though we don't get Binding unless we have an Overlord of the Hauntwoods, which is reasonable, right? So I like the entire play patterns. The only thing that I'm a little bit not sure of is Bronco. Sadly, we didn't get a Linda in the last match against Burn, which is where we really won it. But Bronco is a card I'm looking to actually cut for something a little bit more in line with the deck strategy. If you have any ideas at all for that slot, let me know in the comment section. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, hit that bell notification before you head out that door. And until next time, hope you guys have a great rest of your day. Shout out to all my supporters. And if you want to see any other content from me, check out either one of these 2 videos and playlist. And I'll talk to you soon.